Southeast of Mexico City, the volcano erupted. The volcano called Popocatepetl, which is the only time we'll try to pronounce it accurately. The Mexicans call it El Popo, and this is its most spectacular eruption in 1,200 years. The volcano's been giving off warning signs for several days, which were largely ignored by many of the people living nearby. Until today. Here's ABC's Ned Potter.
Finally, they began to get the message that the mountain was dangerous. 41,000 people near the volcano urged to leave, herded into buses, loaded onto trucks. It started erupting when we left, said this man, and you could see the lava. Some of the farm towns near El Popo were empty today. A fine layer of ash covered everything for miles around. Elsewhere, though, people thought it was more dangerous to leave than stay. Shelters were inadequate and hard to find. They should have sent help a long time ago, said this woman. Whenever there's an emergency, we're forgotten. This woman is Rocio Tlecatalpa. She has 4 children, the youngest age 2. She evacuated to this school, where her family shares a room now with 40 other people. We're much safer here, she says, because you can imagine the danger we were in. Volcanoes are unpredictable. Geologists believe El Popo has had only 3 major explosions in 5,000 years. And even if this is not the 4th, lava flowing down the mountainside could melt snows near the summit and cause mudslides. A man was asked today if he worried about the danger. Of course it's dangerous, he said. The mountain could blow up at any time. Ned Potter, ABC News.
This very week, Popocatepetl, Mount Popo as it's called, is just 42 miles south of Mexico City, and this week it has seen dramatic eruptions of rock and lava, putting thousands in danger. Tonight, all is quiet. You're looking now at a live picture of Mount Popo. The mountain seems asleep, but experts say this volcano's unpredictable behavior is one of the things that makes it so dangerous. We begin in depth with NBC's Kevin Tibbles in Mexico.
As the sun rises over Mount Popo today, the only hint of the firestorm inside, whiffs of smoke. But just a few hours earlier, the volcano exploding, spewing rock and red-hot lava. Popo, the 4th largest mountain in North America, nearly 18,000 feet high, erupting this week with its most violent outburst in 1,200 years. Experts say Popo is an especially dangerous volcano because of its steep slopes. Debris roaring down its sides could potentially wipe out everything in its path. 40,000 people live in the shadow of this volcano. Just 40 miles away in Mexico City, another 20 million. Here at the National Natural Disaster Prevention Center in Mexico City, scientists are working round the clock. It is here that Mexico's top seismologists take the volcano's pulse, calling it unstable, saying Popo is simply recharging, getting ready to erupt again.
It's acquiring more pressure, and eventually this pressure will be released in the future days.
The danger? The heat from Popo's molten lava flow is melting the glaciers on the sides of the mountain and could possibly unleash torrential floods, triggering mudslides.
It's like a concrete coming down instead of water, so they will destroy anything in its that tries to stop them.
The Mexican government is taking no chances. It sent out 1,000 troops to enforce an evacuation inside an 8-mile radius. Tonight, 20,000 people now in shelters, but another 20,000 refuse to leave, worried about their corn harvests or who would feed their animals. If a major danger was to come, says this man, then we've got to run. There's no other choice. Scientists say Popo has a huge crater about a half a mile across, about 300 feet deep, and a lava dome is building up like an upside-down grapefruit. In contrast, Mount St. Helens had a hidden lava dome causing a bulge on its side, almost as if the volcano was pregnant. Volcanologist Randy White, who has done on-site studies of Popo, monitors the maverick volcano's rhythms.
It is blowing in its own way. It could get bigger. We don't know how to predict it exactly.
For centuries here, the people have had an almost mystical relationship with Popo, believing the volcano is a god, showering their crops with rain. Tonight, they fear the mountain will turn vengeful, bringing destruction after 1,200 years of peace. Kevin Tibbles, NBC News, Mexico City.
So what would happen if Mount Popo does roar back to life? Dr. Michael Sheridan is an expert on volcanoes, and this one in particular. His view tonight, her view tonight, in his own words.
The way this volcano is working is something like a champagne bottle that has a cork that's keeping the pressure in. This blob of red-hot lava that's sitting inside the chamber is the cork. On Mount St. Helens, the devastation extended out to 20 or 25 kilometers. At Popo, the same sort of event would have devastation going at least twice as far, and maybe even 3 times as far. The material coming down the volcano could be traveling at speeds of 100 or 200 meters per second. You could imagine the problem of trying to divert a hurricane from landing in one location or another. The same is true with the volcano. Once the wheel has been set in motion, the volcano is going into its cycle. All we can do is stand by and watch this spectacle. All of these things sum up to making this volcano, in this period of activity, to be an extremely dangerous volcano.
Volcano expert Dr. Michael Sheridan in his own words tonight.